Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, 62 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM 62 Inosor.
Go etabo ke buat sekolah Bula FM nga.
Bula FM 62 Korbu.
Bula FM 62 Sawa.
Bula FM 62 Lotoka. Bula.
62 Bula FM member.
Bula FM
62 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau talitak na warong ng Bula FM Lotoka.
Du ali akar warong Bula FM 62 NSR.
Bula FM 62 NSR.
This bulletin, Fiji's suspension from the Commonwealth partially lifted. More males than females contracting tuberculosis. And more state-of-the-art equipment and facilities for better health services. Good evening, welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. First up tonight, an 11-year-old student is the country's latest road fatality. It is alleged the student was hit by a vehicle while running across the Nosuri town main road to the bus stand. He was rushed to the Nosuri hospital and died while being transferred to the CWM hospital. Police investigation continues. Fiji's 5-year suspension from the Commonwealth has been partially lifted. This was decided after the 43rd meeting of the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group, or CMAG, in London yesterday, recognized Fiji's progress towards elections. Eleanor Turangaivu reports.
The promulgation of the 2013 Constitution, registration of more than 540,000 voters, and the establishment of an independent electoral commission are just some developments noted by the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group. And while welcoming the changes undertaken by the government, the group has urged for more powers to be given to the Electoral Commission.
The group urged that the Electoral Commission be provided with the necessary independent authority and resources to oversee the conduct of credible and inclusive elections on a level playing field.
CMAG also noted the logistical challenges in the Elections Office and has commended the financial and technical support provided by other countries. It now wants to see further progress made.
CMAG looked forward to the early appointment of a supervisor of elections and the issuance of an elections decree and the legal framework for elections. It stressed the importance of the fullest possible voter education.
The group has also welcomed the relinquishment by the Prime Minister of his role as the Commander of the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces and the subsequent announcement of his intention to register his political party and contest the upcoming elections.
In recognition of progress, CMAG decided that Fiji's current full suspension from the Commonwealth should be changed to suspension from the councils of the Commonwealth, thus permitting Fiji once again to participate in a range of Commonwealth activities, including the Commonwealth Games, recognizing the role of sport in bringing people together.
CMAG is also encouraging Fiji to invite international observers for the elections and has requested the Secretary-General to remain engaged with Fiji. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
And in a statement this afternoon, the Fijian government says it welcomes the announcement by the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group, adding it now looks forward to a formal invitation to rejoin the Commonwealth in due course. More on this in our sports segment. Former RFMF commander Commodore Vorenge Bainimarama has been promoted to the rank of Rear Admiral. The Commander-in-Chief of the RFMF, the President Ratu Epeli Nailatikau, announced the promotion. In a statement this afternoon, Ratu Epeli says this recognizes Bainimarama's 39 years of distinguished service in the RFMF and his contribution to the nation. He thanked Rear Admiral Bainimarama for his service and wished him well in his civilian life. More males than females are contracting tuberculosis. The National TB Control Officer, Dr. Sakusa Manaiwalala, says males also often die earlier from TB than females. Eleanor Turangaivu reports TB is also prevalent amongst the working population.
According to the Health Ministry, there must be something males are doing that increases their risk of contracting tuberculosis. an issue which needs to be looked into.
They are usually quite much more outgoing. They probably drink much more alcohol. This is something that we will have to find out. But I'm sure there's much more than this. That's why our males are dying early and why they are suffering more from TB.
Dr. Sakyusa Mainawalala says a survey has also revealed that employed people are contracting TB more than unemployed people.
I think in the last 3 years, this shows that in unemployment, 13%. The rest, most of them are, this is just one survey, yeah? There's a survey that has been done.
HIV positive individuals are also more likely to contract TB.
It's usually just because it affects your immunity, the protective system in your body. So I think overall, if we look at, this is one of the things that is never talked about, no? Improving immunity in one's health status.
These issues are raised in the 2013 TB surveillance report, which also highlights an increase of TB cases, 218 last year to 269 this year. Eleanor Turangaiwiu, FBC News.
The public can now access improved healthcare services following the commissioning of state-of-the-art medical equipment and facilities at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital. At the commissioning ceremony in Suva yesterday, Health Minister Dr. Neil Sharma says the Fijian government aims to provide quality medical care to all. Ritika Pratap reports.
There has been a huge leap in the reforms and strengthening of health systems in Fiji in the past 5 years.
Our focus is nationwide, with nursing stations, health centers, subdivisional hospitals receiving a facelift after decades of inattention. Human resource, technology, pharmaceutical and consumable supplies are being reviewed to optimization.
The government allocated $1.9 million for the cytology analyzer, urology clinic, Oxfam planning clinic, the maternity unit and the hospital kitchen and mortuary. The Oxfam planning clinic will now be known as the Wellness Center and will help the women in many ways.
The new Wellness Center will provide a central hub for women in areas of women's health, advocacy in family life, sexual and reproductive health, family planning, cancer screening and counseling services. And I think we will be proud of it.
Organizations including Digicel and the International Women's Association also contributed to the renovations at the maternity unit and the Oxfam planning clinic.
The expectation for the project was to provide a brand new maternity unit with improved maternal care for our mothers and the newborn. This is just a great cause as the project will help thousands of women and infants each year.
First visit to the clinic, we met the dedicated staff who were working tirelessly in challenging conditions. We were inspired to help them and the women of the community and started our planning to provide a modern, world-class health facility with an increased capacity to deliver quality health services.
Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has also received a donation of over $14,000 to support awareness on prostate cancer. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, $300,000 set aside for rehabilitation of flood-affected farmers.
Talita na radio Fiji One na mwira ni nondo bonua.
Ando talita kana borro na radio Fiji One singa toka boleta ni station ni alumatu.
Ando talita kabale una borro na radio Fiji One station ni alumatu elo toka.
Ando talita kabale una borro na radio Fiji One na mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tungo korbo ando borro mo live na station ni alumatu na radio Fiji One.
Ando borro na radio Fiji One na station ni alumatu na mandoi tele.
Na radio Fiji One nandu mo ibitin bonga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC News. $300,000 has been set aside to assist farmers who suffered huge losses during the recent heavy rain and flooding. $1.7 million worth of root crops and vegetables from farms in the Central Division, mainly in Neitasiri, Tailevu South and Rewa, were damaged. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Agriculture Ministry was quick to come to the rescue of affected farmers, giving out seedlings and fertilizer to assist in production.
This is vegetables, Chinese cabbage, beans, tomatoes, okra, some of the basic vegetables that farmers should be planting in order to assist them in their recovery program. That has been done already.
Ureya Waimbuta says they are finalizing the distribution and funding plan and by next week, planting materials will be supplied.
We'll be actually completing the rehabilitation program in the distribution of some of the basic vegetable seeds. And that is the only rehabilitation that we will be doing in terms of planting material.
Wembuta says agriculture sector is vulnerable to natural disasters and farmers must at least plant crops that are sustainable.
Especially some of the creeping crops for basic food security. Kumala is one of that because it is a creeper, at least have a few months somewhere. Comes bad times, we can go back into some of these crops just to maintain food security level.
Many farmers were caught by surprise in Waindinaneta City, Tailevu and Rewa with the flooding 2 weeks ago and are still recovering from the aftermath. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Business houses, organizations, schools and individuals are part of the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation and Carpenters Cleanup campaign around the Suva area today. Children as young as 2 years took a stand by taking up and sharing the responsibility of keeping our city clean, safe and dengue-free. Vasita Kote Wasawasa reports.
The cleanup started from Sukuna Park and ended at My Suva Park in Nasise. The huge turnout stunned the organizers.
It was the first and it went well. It went great. We had a big number of participants, business houses, groups and individuals, families. Like always, our events are with families and they came out in numbers today to help us fight against dengue. Yeah? So we're just cleaning up the foreshore. Thanks to carpenters and all the business houses that had supported this. It was a great turnout.
FBC News caught up with 3 students who were part of the exercise today.
It's very important because I want to save many lives of people. Those are suffering from dengue fever. So I want to be a part of this team to clean the compound so that no one else get affected by dengue fever.
I'm going to be cleaning up the city for dengue fever prevention.
So that people don't catch dengue. I encourage my friend to come and pick up rabies so that people don't catch dengue.
From October last year to date, there have been 12 deaths and 11,359 confirmed cases of dengue. Health Minister Dr. Neil Sharma says the focus should not be on the number of deaths, but should be on taking a collaborative approach to stopping dengue.
The messages remain clear that the dengue type 3 outbreak, is lethal, but preventable if all of society takes responsibility. The medium can very well play the part of the 4th pillar of governance and encourage and support positive measures to combat stagnant water accumulation and the destruction of mosquito breeding, rather than create fear and a hype about fatalities, which is a very sad event on a daily basis, if recorded daily. Ministry of Health offers regular media conferences and has no political agenda on this issue.
The Health Ministry continues to call on everyone to ensure their compounds are clean and free of any mosquito breeding objects. Vasita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
The Fiji Development Bank held its inaugural Market Day in Suva today. The Market Day is an initiative to celebrate the spirit of entrepreneurship and showcase the agricultural and small and medium enterprise potential Fiji has. 14 exhibitors were showcasing their produce and products today. Manager Customer Relations Sylvia Lowe says the market also gives an opportunity for people to buy products and see the diverse range of local businesses supported by FDB.
If you walk through the market, there's no competition. Everyone has something different to sell. The focus will always be our agro producers because agriculture is a key sector of our economy and that's what we want to promote. And at the same time processing those agricultural produce.
FDB will now hold such markets on every second Saturday of the month, and Lowe says they will have different exhibitors with different products each time. Calls have been made for more roadshows from the Education Ministry. Its roadshow last week in the Northern Division was hailed a huge success by people in the region.
Primary and secondary school students packed the booths to feed themselves with first-hand information they would otherwise have to travel all the way to the capital to find.
People are aware that education is free, for example, but they are not aware how to get it,
where to get it and what ideas are there to achieve all this?
Lobbying for quite some time to get the carriers export to Tevuni. People should know this is rural area and people to get information is very hard and sometimes you don't get access to internet.
Parents have hailed the initiative, saying it will help rural students learn to deal with the life of the city, as most in the past weren't able to take the pressure and ended up dropping out of school and going back to the farms.
Our children who aren't at school are encouraged by the roadshow, and officials are giving all the help they could to get them back into the school system.
I think it's a great achievement.
The special administrator for Lambasa in Samsavo has wished that similar roadshows can be conducted in the future. He says the display and answers provided to students and parents were very comprehensive.
It is indeed an opportunity for people to come and visit and to learn for themselves and to see how best they can obtain the services that are available in this ministry.
The roadshow was also an opportunity for school heads and school managements on Vanolevu and Taviuni to be updated on issues and requests now on the table of the Education Ministry here in Suva. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC Sports, Fiji to participate in 2014 Commonwealth Games. And coach Ben Ryan names his final 12-member squad for Tokyo and Hong Kong.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nen.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Vatukola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading FBC Sports tonight, Fiji is now able to participate in the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. This comes after Fiji's suspension from the Games was lifted following a meeting of the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group in London yesterday. This now means that local sporting federations will need to make haste in terms of preparing their athletes in time for the Games in July. Chalindo Zakadaka has more.
The government says Fijian athletes and sports people will especially welcome the opportunity to compete in the 20th Commonwealth Games in Glasgow this July. And it notes that with the Games now only 4 months away, the decision on whether to go to Glasgow will be left to the various sporting bodies in Fiji. Fasanok will be working closely with the federations to begin preparations.
I've always stressed to them that they should be working on the basis that we will be admitted back into the Commonwealth and we will be able to compete at the Commonwealth Games. So for some it will not be a surprise. Again, it's short notice, but I will be calling a meeting with all the federations who will be represented in Glasgow. These are 17 sports. We will be talking about the logistics of competing.
For some sports, Fasanok will need to discuss the qualification criteria that athletes must meet.
Some of the events we don't need to go through a qualification process. For example, like netball, bowls, rugby sevens. We are already well established in that area. Weightlifting, our lifters are ranked in Oceania, and it's easy for them to qualify for the organizers to know what standard they are.
Come next week, we will know which sporting federations will represent Fiji to the Glasgow Games. Chalendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
Stefano Dakau has forced his way back into the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team after being named in the 12-man squad for Tokyo and Hong Kong. Coach Ben Ryan has retained the core of the side from previous legs to continue Fiji's campaign in the World Series. Chalendo Dakadaka reports.
Former Fiji Sevens skipper Stefano Dakau returned from a short rugby stint in Sri Lanka to make a remarkable comeback to the IRB Sevens series.
Right, first of all, I feel happy to be back in the team. I know I've been missing out like a couple of legs, but I thank him that he gave me an opportunity to get back in the team for this leg.
The captain's armband will remain with regular skipper Osea Kolinisau, who overcame a leg injury in time for selection. Apisa Indomalelai, Sasaver Malua and Waisea Dungu were also recalled into the national side, while it will be a memorable outing for the only debutant in the side.
I feel happy and I want to thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity so I can show my talent. And I want to thank my families for their prayers in Sonaka village, and especially to Master Epil Langilo and the two brothers who's owning the Tokotago Westfield Babas team.
The team flies out on Monday to Tokyo with the challenge of getting their series campaign back on track. Talento Dakadak, FBC Sports.
The Telecom Fiji Warriors recorded their second win in the Pacific Rugby Cup yesterday, defeating New South Wales under-20 side 49-24. The victory has put their campaign back on track to retain the title. The Rupeni Nasinga-led side will face Junior Japan in their next match on Tuesday.
Oh, the win was good, but it could have been better. We let them in the second half. Yeah, just that when they were up 49, the Fijians slackened down, and they allowed them to come back with 29 points. And that's really not good if you're going to play rugby at that level.
Only one match was played today in the Premier Division Vanua zone of the Fiji Sun Skippertuna National Football League. Nandongo defeated Raketi 1-0 at Subrel Park in Lambasa. Two matches had to be called off today due to heavy rain. Games will continue tomorrow at the same ground starting at 8:30 a.m. It was mostly fine in most of the centres today. All centres had fine weather this morning. However, by the afternoon, Suva had some cloudy periods, Savusavu had some showers, along with thunderstorms, and Lambasa had thunderstorms. Now they recorded the highest temperature today, hitting 34 degrees on the chart. Lambasa had the lowest with 31 degrees. Tomorrow, showers will be the order of the day for the capital city. Nandi, Lotoka and Bacan expect fine weather in the morning and some showers and thunderstorms by the afternoon. Lambasa will have some showers by the afternoon. Now the further outlook, a weak trough lies slow moving over the eastern parts of Fiji. It is expected to affect eastern parts of the group till later tomorrow. There will be showers over Lau and Lomaiviti group and the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers. The outlook for Monday, some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, fine elsewhere. The main stories again. Fiji's suspension from the Commonwealth partially lifted. More males than females contracting tuberculosis. And more state-of-the-art equipment and facilities for better health services. To our poll question now. We ask, should Fiji have another superannuation fund? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's news for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Good evening.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा सा।
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tangi tawa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम वहीं लंबासा में रहता है, तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है।
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.